Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into Klaviyo, arguably the best email marketing platform out there, especially if you're in e-commerce. In this video, I'll walk through all the steps to help you get your Klaviyo account set up so you can start using its powerful tools right away. So this video might be a little hefty, but I have it split up in sections below, so if you need to jump to any particular topic, feel free to do so. Whether you're setting up your ESP for the first time or migrating from another platform to Klaviyo, stick around and I've got you covered. Just a little bit about me. I spent the last year working at a top-tier advertising agency on the lifecycle marketing team, and that includes services like email marketing, SMS marketing, and push notification marketing. And I spent my time in dozens of Klaviyo accounts, and now I've taken the leap to start my own agency, Mako Marketing, so you can get real, actionable marketing advice. I've actually been itching to set up a Klaviyo account on camera, and I thought the best way to do that was to screen record and walk you through it as I set it up for myself. So Klaviyo offers flexible pricing that starts with a free plan for up to 250 profiles, and as your number of profiles increases, the pricing scales accordingly. So the platform provides different features for email and SMS marketing, with additional options like Klaviyo reviews and the customer data platform or CDP available at higher pricing tiers. So for more details, make sure to check out the Klaviyo pricing page and select the option that's best suited for your business. So now I will be signing up with just a free profile. I'm gonna speed through this. And this is for my own business. And if you're managing somebody else's business, like a client of yours, you would select for my client's business. If you decide to sign up for their marketing, feel free to do so by selecting this box. I'm already subscribed to some of their marketing material. I do find it helpful. They send a lot of resources and tips and tutorials on how to use the platform. They unveil new features via email, and also if they have any webinars for upcoming spending seasons like Black Friday or the holidays, they invite you to attend the webinars. It's useful information. I won't say it's that spammy, but obviously up to you. Okay, my account is being created. They ask you a bunch of questions, just feel free to fill it out. It's usually helpful in the types of marketing content they send to you. Next, they're gonna ask you about your sender information, and this section is really important because this is gonna be how you appear to the people receiving your emails. It's gonna display your name as well as your email. And also it's really important to make sure that your business name and the domain you're using is aligned with the domain you use for your website. Otherwise, you might run into some issues with DMARC and DNS settings and just verifying that your domain is actually you. And that could be problematic, especially if you're trying to avoid hitting spam. A really common email address that people use is hello at your domain name, or another one that's really popular is news, or another one is info. So just choose whatever you're feeling and feel free to be creative. That might help you stand out in the inbox. Next, they're gonna ask you how you want to reach your subscribers. I currently only am gonna be using email, so I'm gonna select that option for myself. And then you'll see your whole dashboard. Next up, let's connect your Klaviyo account to your e-commerce platform. This step is absolutely crucial because it allows Klaviyo to sync your customer data, your product information, and your recent transaction data from your store. This integration is key for sending targeted emails, automating workflows, and tracking purchases, all of which will maximize your marketing efforts. So to start, Klaviyo actually offers a really nice dashboard to walk you through connecting your website to the platform. So I'm going to be going through this. However, there's another way that you can also connect your website. Select your logo at the bottom left corner. Select integrations. You'll be able to connect your website here as well. But I'm going to be going through Klaviyo's dashboard, and I'm just going to connect my website here by clicking connect. Should be fairly simple. So it's going to direct you to log into your website. So I use Wix. Obviously, if you use a Shopify or a WooCommerce, it'll lead you to that page instead. There we go, almost done. It's asking me to select a Klaviyo list. So I selected email list because I wanted all my new contacts that would be entered through my website, through a pop-up form or a sign-up form in my footer or something along those lines, to be automatically added to a list. And you can select this option by selecting this checkbox. or deselect it if you don't want them to be automatically added to a list. I say why not just have them automatically imported into Klaviyo. It'll make your life easier. So I'm going to select email list and then complete the setup. And there you go. So after your website is connected, it's also really important to not forget to verify your domain. You're going to go to your account settings and then hit the domains tab and then click on connected domain. Make sure you type in your root domain. This should just be your website domain, and then click next. And then you're going to create a subdomain that you're going to be sending from. And it's really important that you're not using the subdomain anywhere else. This is just another way that Gmail, Yahoo, etc. can verify that you're an actual real person sending emails and not just spam. I'm just going to be using send as my send domain. That's very common. Next, Klaviyo is going to ask you to add your DMARC records to your domain. I'll walk you through how to do this. So it's really important to do this because if your domain doesn't have your DMARC records, the email providers will probably flag the email address you're sending from as spam. And if you want to be hitting the inbox, it's really critical to have that DMARC record in your DNS settings in particular. So Klaviyo is going to prompt you to configure your domain with entry. This is a new feature that Klaviyo has added to help automate the process because it is a little bit meticulous. I've never used this, so I'm going to go with the manual option because that's just what I feel comfortable with, but feel free to try this out. I'm sure it'll make things a lot quicker. So to set it up manually, you're going to click set up manually and then select your domain provider. Mine is GoDaddy. Then you're going to hit next and it's going to provide all of these DNS records for you. So you're basically going to copy all of these DNS records, type the name and the value, and put it into your DNS settings in your domain. I'll show you what that looks like. So now I'm going through GoDaddy and Wix to access my DNS records. Here I'll see my CNAME records and my TXT records. These are my aliases and text records. So basically we're just going to go to Klaviyo and copy every single column worth of records and paste it in our DNS records. And basically once you do all of that, you'll hit verify and you should be good to go. So while Klaviyo is verifying my records, another tool you can use to verify your records is MX Toolbox. So this is what the website looks like. All you have to do is type in your domain name, makomarketing.com for example, and then click MX Lookup. And if you see all your records are green and maybe one yellow, like this, you should be good to go. So now that your website is connected to your Klaviyo account, we want to kick things off by configuring certain account settings, starting with one of the most important settings in Klaviyo, your attribution settings. This is where we set up how Klaviyo will track revenue and attribute it to your marketing efforts. And why is this so important? Because your attribution settings directly impacts the accuracy of your campaign performance. In Klaviyo, attribution settings control how the platform measures the revenue generated by email, SMS, and other automated flows. To adjust this, head to your account settings and then click on the attribution tab. By default, Klaviyo uses a specific window for attribution, usually 5 days after somebody clicks an email or 5 days after they've opened the email. This means if somebody clicks on an email and makes a purchase within that 5-day period, Klaviyo will attribute the sale back to your campaign. However, if your business has a longer or a shorter buying cycle, you can adjust these windows to better align with how your customers interact with your emails and website. For example, if your product requires more consideration, you could extend the click attribution window to 10 days. On the other hand, if you're selling impulse buy products, you might want to shorten it down to something like 2 days. Also, there's an option here related to Apple Mail Privacy Protection, otherwise known as MPP. And if you're in the world of e-commerce, this is something to keep in mind. MPP is Apple's privacy feature that can artificially inflate open rates by marking emails as opened, even if your subscribers haven't interacted with them. They do this to make sure your emails aren't filled with spam material. You'll want to decide here if you'd like to exclude MPP opens from your data so that your reporting remains accurate. This can be really helpful for understanding true engagement rates and gives you a more precise view of your customer behavior. So I will be selecting this to make sure we exclude MPP opens from our attribution data. Once you set up your click and open windows and adjust it for MPP, you're ready to move on to the next step. And remember, these settings are foundational because they ensure you're getting a clear picture of how your email marketing impacts your sales. And if you ever need to adjust it based on your business goals, you can always come back to this section and make those changes. Before we continue, let's take a moment to clarify the difference between lists and segments in Klaviyo, as both of these are key features to organizing your contacts. Lists are static groups of contacts that you create manually, often for a specific reason, such as collecting subscribers from a sign-up form or adding those who opted in for a particular offer. A list will stay the same unless you manually add in or remove contacts. On the other hand, segments are dynamic groups of contacts that automatically update based on given conditions. For example, you can make a segment of contacts who have made a purchase in the last 30 days, and Klaviyo will automatically add people who meet that condition. Segments are ideal for targeting specific behaviors or attributes, like high engagement subscribers or people who have recently abandoned their cart. Another thing to note is that if you're migrating from a different email service provider, Klaviyo makes it pretty easy to bring over all your existing data from your previous platform over to Klaviyo. So whether it's subscriber lists, past campaign data, or engagement data, Klaviyo's integration tools allow for a smooth transition, so you don't lose any valuable customer history. To do this, you'll need to export your subscriber list and engagement data from your old ESP and import it into Klaviyo. So to do this, I'm going to toggle over to the Lists and Segments tab in my Klaviyo and create a list. And this list is going to be used as my list that I import my data from my old ESP over to here. So we're going to hit Create New and then Create List, and then we're going to name our list. You can name it whatever you want, and I'm going to pretend like MailChimp was my old ESP. So I'm going to just name this MailChimp data or customer data, MailChimp customers, make it simple, January of 2024 to November 2024. And then you can create a tag if you want. I named one MailChimp just so I'm able to track everything easily, and then you're going to create a list. So there's a couple of options when you create a list. We're going to go with the Upload Contacts option because we're going to be exporting contacts from our old ESP, MailChimp in this case, and uploading it into Klaviyo. So Klaviyo requires you to upload data as a CSV file. I currently don't have any customers, but I'm going to show you what it looks like to upload data here. You'll see that Klaviyo automatically maps your properties over into Klaviyo profile properties based off the column names. And sometimes you'll see that certain properties don't import automatically into Klaviyo. If that's the case, you can create a new field or you can choose to completely exclude it from your list. I'm going to be creating a new field so I'm able to track the gender of my customer. So once you have that all sorted out, you're going to hit Next. And then Klaviyo is going to ask you if you want to automatically subscribe these contacts to your marketing messages. It's really important to not automatically subscribe these contacts if they haven't subscribed to your marketing through your website or however you collect emails. For this instance, I'm going to select yes and subscribe my contacts to my list because the only contact is myself and I want to keep track of the marketing messages that are going out. And since I don't do any SMS marketing, I'm going to be only subscribing them to email at this moment. My mic stopped working here, but this is what your page will look like once your contacts are uploaded. Now, if you work with a team, the next step is a must, inviting your team members to your Klaviyo account. You're going to want to head over to your account settings and click on users. To add a new user, it's very straightforward. You're going to click Add New User and type in the email of the user you want to add to Klaviyo. Once you type in the email, you're going to want to select the language. English is the language I will be using. And then you're going to want to select the role of this new user. Now, each role has a different level of access to your Klaviyo account. So once you're feeling good about this section, you're going to click Add User, and Klaviyo is going to send an email to that user, and they will just have to click on the email, accept the invite, and they should have full access. Now that we've got your account linked, data imported, and users added, it's time to finalize a few account settings that will make your email and SMS campaigns even more efficient. First up, Smart Sending. This is a powerful feature in Klaviyo that helps manage how often you send emails to your subscribers, ensuring that you're not overwhelming them with too many messages at one time. This is particularly important when you're running multiple campaigns and have automations on as well. What happens is, when Smart Sending is enabled, Klaviyo will automatically suppress emails from being sent to users who have already received an email within a certain period. So by default, Smart Sending is automatically set to 16 hours. However, you can adjust this to best fit your email strategy. Next, let's talk about Preview Prefix. This is a simple but very helpful setting that allows you to distinguish between test emails and actual email campaigns, especially if you're sending multiple tests and finalizing your content. So the Preview Prefix setting is right underneath your Smart Sending period setting. So typically, a lot of my clients like to write test as the preview prefix, or you can just do preview as they suggest underneath. You can really make this whatever you want. You can make this a heart, you can make this a smiley face, whatever you want. I'm gonna go with test because that is the easiest for me to remember. Last but definitely not least, let's take a look at the pre-built engage segments in Klaviyo. These are preset segments that help you target your subscribers more effectively. So if you go over to your lists and segments page once again, you'll see that by default, Klaviyo has pre-built segments like new subscribers, most engaged, loyal customers, and more. And these can help you with getting started quickly, but you can always create custom segments down the road. So now that we've covered the basics, you're on your way to success with your Klaviyo account. Stay tuned for some other videos coming out in the near future where I'll be diving into setting up your branding in Klaviyo, sending out your first campaign, setting up segments, so on and so forth. If you found this tutorial useful, please give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more Klaviyo tips. Also, drop any questions you have in the comments. I would be more than happy to help. I also provide email, SMS, and other marketing services, so if you're interested in getting my help, hit the link below in the description and we can get in touch. See you in the next video.